Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. I am excited to see such a great crowd here, and it's been wonderful reflecting on being in Houston for this event last year. For those of you that are visiting, welcome to San Antonio, or bienvenidos a San Antonio, as we're apt to say here. We're so glad to host you here, and I hope that you all enjoyed a nice lunch break, walk around the Pearl, and had a chance to get a glimpse of the river. Well, today's event comes at a time of great opportunity for our beloved Brackenridge Park and for our entire city. San Antonio really is thriving when many other cities are not doing quite as well as we are. We're creating jobs here, attracting new residents and new investment. Our unemployment rate is low, and so is our cost of living. We've got the right ingredients to continue to grow in the 21st century. We've got a diversified economy, a welcoming, wonderful quality of life, thriving research and educational institutions, a great climate, and really good breakfast tacos. But seriously, creating that unique food culture that celebrates our heritage and our international ties while reflecting San Antonio's unique spirit has been a big step forward for us in helping San Antonians and understand what we're all about here. The Pearl, where we're meeting here today, was the catalyst for much of that change, particularly in recruiting the Culinary Institute of the America to locate a campus here. And in fact, that process of recognizing, investing in, and promoting our culture and our assets is repeating itself in many ways, from the designation of our Spanish colonial missions as a UNESCO World Heritage Site to our upcoming tricentennial and 2018. So for those of you that are visiting today, we certainly want you to come back and spend some time in San Antonio during our big birthday year. As I mentioned before, our community is growing. The I-35 corridor between here and Austin is one of the fastest growing areas in the U.S., and San Antonians have sometimes complained about opportunity in our community. And that's why I welcome growth. I believe that we can and will grow into a globally competitive city where everyone is connected to opportunities. But at the same time, we have to protect the heart and soul of our city, our people, and our cultural heritage. So it's important that we continue to have conversations about what matters to us and how we preserve and enhance it, how we stay puro San Antonio. As many of you know, yesterday was a great day for Brackenridge Park, especially for a nerdy planner like me. I was so excited when the City Council unanimously adopted that new master plan for Brackenridge Park that recognizes its historic, recreational, and cultural significance. It's been decades since the last plan was adopted, a plan which was never fully funded and thus never realized. With hindsight, it may be a good thing that some of the earlier proposals weren't implemented because our ideas about planning have changed over time. For example, only a few paragraphs in that earlier plan were devoted to environmental diversity. Now we realize that Brackenridge Park and the San Antonio River are both significant environmental resources. This morning, I understand that you heard about some of the projects like Hemisphere and the River Improvements Project that have helped change our planning ideas and our development practices here in San Antonio. As the panelists discuss, we've learned that successful projects don't just have a design component, that instead they're shaped from the start by landscape architects and others who appreciate that interaction of place, people, and purpose that creates unique and lovable spaces. I borrowed that word lovable from a gentleman named Peter Kageyama, who gave a speech here last year about why people take care of and are willing to invest in their neighborhoods, their parks, and public spaces. As he pointed out, people care for places that they love. And stewardship springs not just from feelings of ownership, but from feelings of belonging. From birthday parties to bike rides to the miniature train to the zoo, almost everyone in San Antonio has some happy memories of Brackenridge Park. But Brackenridge Park also belongs to all of us in San Antonio because it tells our story. The story of the aquifer and the springs, the story of our indigenous roots, European exploration and settlement, revolution, independence, civil war, industrial growth, and expansion. And this is where we need to do a better job of preserving and interpreting our past for our own residents and also for visitors. I believe that the new master plan is a giant step forward along that path, and that the Cultural Landscape Foundation is helping us take another step forward today. So a huge, huge thank you to Charles Birnbaum and his staff, to Lynn Bobbitt and the board of Brackenridge Park Conservancy, to our City Parks Director, Xavier Urrutia, and to my City Council colleagues for everything that you all have done to make today's program a reality. I've heard from several of you on how much you enjoyed the impressive group of speakers this morning, and I know that this afternoon's panel and responses will be just as interesting and provocative. I'm excited to have have a few moments to be able to stay here and listen. I get really energized by these types of gatherings. There's so much potential that's available for us, and I'm just so excited about us working together to bring to reality the plans that we have just put together for our wonderful, beloved Brackenridge Park. So let's continue with the program and learn more about how we can enhance the invaluable resource that is Brackenridge Park. Thank you all.